What is up? Welcome back. As you know, or maybe you don't know, we are redoing our dining room. This week, we are going to be working on a Dollar Tree gallery wall and currently still working on our live edge table. That will be coming out soon, I promise. And then we will be very close to being done with our dining room. So a lot of these crafts that you're gonna see, I'm sure you've seen before. We are gonna be using joint compound for kind of a more 3D look. We're gonna go a little bit trendy with some checkered frames, things like that. So it's gonna be fun. It's just honestly for us to sit down, do some painting, be crafty, and have some fun. So you'll get some inspiration from this video. That is all we can hope for. So yeah, let's get into it. And just remember, I'm not a professional painter or anything like that. So if I can make it look halfway decent, you definitely can. Just remember, you'll probably do it much better than I'm doing. At the dollar store, mostly focusing on picking up my picture frames, but I also did get glue, a spatula, and paint from the Dollar Tree as well. And then I got this canvas. There were a few things I did for the gallery wall that weren't at the Dollar Tree, like the compound and a picture frame I got at Goodwill. What's really nice is I have this painting by Wayne's grandpa. He actually painted this. And I really like it. I want to put this on the wall. And so I'm trying to look at a layout and I'm thinking I'm going to go with this. It's going to be more of a 3D painting. Small little frame here and then a bigger one. I think this is going to be good. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever done a gallery wall. This is the wall that I'm thinking of putting the gallery wall on. So you can see I originally hung that painting right here, and then the rest of it I'm gonna put over here, and hopefully that will look good. The first frame that I worked on was this curve effect. So I've seen this online a lot. It is wood, and they cut it to make like a curve. But instead of cutting, I actually was just gonna use the same exact color as the color that's on my wall to give it that illusion that it is curved. So this frame is actually a plastic wood frame from the Dollar Tree. To give myself a better idea of how I wanted the curve to look, I used this purple pen, and that is important to say, purple pen, because I would highly not recommend doing that because it ended up bleeding into my paint and then making my paint purplish. So it wasn't ideal, but marking it did kind of help me understand the design. Make sure you paint the edges. Don't want to see that. And then I did find a technique that worked really well. I did the humps first and then I connected them. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but the curves, I did those first and then I connected instead of doing a whole continuous wavy pattern. And that seemed to work really well. And yes, I am using literally the wall paint can that we use. So it's a huge paint can, but it worked out. Now for the art that's going in this specific frame. Went super simple. So we watch Hell's Kitchen and they say yes chef a lot. And we make a lot of jokes about when we're cooking and we say yes chef, and it's just an inside joke kind of thing. So to make this super simple and easy, I'm using this stencil and literally just writing yes chef in black, and then I cut it out and put it in that frame. So super simple, super easy. On to frame number two. This is the checkered frame, actually one of my favorite ones. So very excited about this one. This frame I did get at Goodwill, similar to the Dollar Tree because it was only 150. So it was $1.50 for this frame. Really excited. So what I did is I used some sample paints we had. So this is Pine Forest. It's the same exact paint as our kitchen cabinets. And then I used Vanilla Mocha because it's just a fun name, and I thought the off-white was really cool. So those are the two colors that I was mixing together, not mixing together, but using together to create that checker. You can definitely tape this off and make it look a little bit more professional, but I was looking for more of that organic look, just kind of having fun with it. I also didn't do any math on how many checkered boxes I wanted to do to make sure that it perfectly fit. So you definitely can do that. So I have two squares that are actually bigger than the others just because I was eyeballing it and just having fun and not necessarily doing the measurements. But if you want it to look a little bit more professional, you can take the time to tape off as well as measure your boxes. Once it came to just tidying up the edges here, I did tape it off so that it didn't get on that second layer, and that worked really well. So just going in, making sure you take that tape off before it fully dries, otherwise it will peel that paint. For the painting that's going inside this frame, I'm using Vanilla Mocha, and I want to do something similar to this, where the stems and the leaves are kind of taking up the whole canvas. There's not a lot of white space. Thought it was going to be something that would be easy for me to do. You don't have to be an artist to do it, and I thought it turned out pretty well. I did end up using a black Sharpie for the stems and leaves. It seemed that I had the most control with it, and it actually ended up being very bold and looked very good. So highly recommend that, but you can use paint if you'd like. On to our last frame. This is frame three, the 3D art. So this is using the compound to create a 3D effect, a textured effect. So I wanted some type of texture on this wall. We had pattern, we had simple, now I wanted texture. So I am just adding this on, trying to create a thin layer. It's kind of like icing a cake, and then you just add the texture that you like. So I was just doing a bunch of different techniques to see what I ended up liking, and you do have some time because it takes a little while to dry. I ended up waiting 24 hours until I added the extra 3D effect on top. So yeah, play around with it, have some fun. Once it was dry, I took a pencil and I started drawing what I wanted on the actual canvas itself. So what I was going for is just a coffee mug with some steam coming out of it. It's near our coffee station, so I figured this would be a good thing to do on there. So I'm just drawing it out so I know where to put my glue. So I'm using this glue that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just putting it over all of the lines that I did with the pencil. This is going to give it that 3D look, and give it a little bit more texture as well. After you're done with this, you can let the glue dry, and then it's totally up to you. You can leave it as is. You can paint the canvas and the glue all together. You can make the glue a different color. You can also make the glue glittery if you're into that. So lots of options here. I ended up just painting the whole canvas white just to make it more of that monochromatic situation. All right, thank you so much for watching our Dollar Tree turned DIY gallery wall. Very excited about how it turned out. I would say my favorite is probably the checkered. Comment down below which one turned out to be your favorite. This is super fun. It's just fun to have a wall finally in our house that looks a little bit more put together and intentional. So it's very cool to have this. Very excited. It was a really fun project. Definitely go do it if you are feeling creative and crafty. But yeah, I would say one thing that I did learn is using the canvas for the compound. It will crack because it moves. So my suggestion would probably be to get those wood pieces at the Dollar Tree and use that for the compound art. And then I wanted it to be a little bit more minimalistic with the same colors, but you could always make the glue a different color or even put glitter on it if you're feeling fancy, so that you can see the difference there. But all in all, very excited about how it turned out. Comment down below which one's your favorite, and I'll see you guys next time.